Hey coworkers, so today we're going to dive into the critical issue that a lot of us don't see until it's way too late. The shocking cost of running your business without proper systems. So I come on here and everywhere all the time and I yap about systems. You need this, you need to increase productivity. This is important, that is important, but why? A lot of times you don't see why until it starts creeping up starts creeping up on you, and it's just out of the gate. So I'm going to dive into just some little reasons, some little things that you may not have seen in the grand scheme of things, so that you can think about it and you can apply it to your business. Let's get into it. So hosting a business without systems is almost like trying to sail a boat without a rudder. You know what a rudder is? Me neither, but it was just a good comparison at the time. Let's put a rudder in here.
A rudder is the thing at the bottom of the boat. So when you turn the pedal left or right, it goes. So it's basically like a paddle, but for a boat.
For a boat. See, I knew it made sense. It's one of those things that you say, anyways, let's. So you might move forward. So like the rudder is like a paddle, and I know what a kayak looks like. So let's think about it like a kayak. So you're going forward, but you don't really know where you're heading if you don't put the kayak in the different directions. Okay, anyways, let's break down the hidden costs that you might not have considered. So the first one, increased operational cost. You see, when you have no systems, every task now requires more time to complete because you have no structures in place, you have no time estimates, and you have nothing to truly say, here are the steps, so this is what we'll do. And when you do certain steps, over time it becomes easier. But if you keep on doing things custom every single time, you fall into no rhythm, no flow, and you have nothing that you just don't have anything that you have, like, when you have like muscle memory, you don't get the advantage of muscle memory. So it requires more time, and then if you are delegating, it requires more management of the task as a delegator, and also more management of the task as the person who is trying to figure this out, because you have nothing to follow. With that, you have inefficiency, you have higher labor costs, and of course, lower productivity. Because imagine this, every single time somebody on your team wants to do something, they have to reinvent the wheel. That's ridiculous. And I know it sounds chaotic when I say it, but honestly, that's what a lot of us are doing in our business. And you don't even see it because this only takes you 5 minutes. This only takes you 2 minutes. But this adds up. And that's why we end up having people on our team who are like looking at us and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And you're like, why aren't you figuring it out? And the truth is, we never give them any room to figure it out. Chaotic, right? The second cost that you may not have seen, poor customer experience. So I spoke about having client delivery systems. So from the beginning, from somebody enters your presence to the end, how are we dealing with them? How is their inquiry? Do they have any complaints? What's the service delivery? Did we deliver the thing that we promised them? Did we set expectations? Did we make paying easy? What does that look like? And poor service leads to unhappy customers, unhappy clients. And unhappy clients also mean bad reviews, it means lost sales, it means poor referrals, and then the cost of acquiring a new customer keeps on going up, because it's always easier to sell to a recurring customer, somebody who is a client, who will continue to be a client. Like I work with some business owners where I know specific people that will always buy what they sell. It doesn't matter. Once they are launching something, I can rely on a few people, and I know them very well at this point in the businesses, that I know that they will support, because it's just so much easier when you have trusted somebody. You know that whatever they put out is good. You'll always make sure that you support them. And if you can't, like if you don't need them directly, then you're now able to refer people to them. You're able to take them into rooms that they may not have gotten into by themselves. Number 3, team frustration and a high turnover rate. Oh my goodness, this one irks my spirit so much, especially in the online space where there are a lot of contractors. There are employees as well, but because I'm a contractor, I love to talk from that perspective. Let me tell you a little secret. Your team members, whether they are contractors or employees, they talk, okay? We all talk. And if you are just poor at what you did, then it says so much about you, and the people who are going to potentially want to work with you will not work with you if they're actually good, right? There are some people who think that they're the only ones who should make money and nobody else should make money, so they don't respect the other people who support them. They don't respect their video editors, they don't respect their social media managers, they don't respect the other people who are working with them, their VAs, their OBMs, their designers, because they're the only ones who should be making money, right? And because we're inefficient in what we do, we don't delegate properly, we don't have any knowledge base, we don't have any procedures, we don't have any packages, we don't have any set ways of doing things, then it causes frustration. Because if you're on a team and you don't have any guidance, you don't have anything to follow, and you just have somebody bullying you all the time and telling you that you're not doing well, you will always have to be hiring. People will always leave you. And it is you. You are I'm the problem, it's me. It says that you are a problem, and I find it absurd that a lot of people don't realize that they're the problem. And almost every single time I talk to a CEO who complains about a team member, when you look deep beyond it, they are the problem. Either you never had proper hiring systems from the get-go, and I'm going to use myself as an example because I love using myself as an example because I don't like to talk about other people. So I always have people on my team for different things, whether it be the wonderful people who are helping me to produce this video. That's my digital production team. Coin Digital, big up, right through. Or I have an assistant, my operations manager. I have somebody on my team who helps me with client delivery as well, so client success. And for me, I remember the first person I had to help me with client delivery. Remember, I have clients who are near and dear to my heart. I'm very nervous about getting people to work with me because my clients invite me into very personal things, and for me to now invite somebody in to help me to be like, I subcontract people to help me to build out systems because there are just so many hours in a day, right? And I remember the first person I had wrongly, not because I'm a bad person, but I just had poor systems. There was no test project. I really didn't know how they would show up. I also liked the person more than what their competency was. So I liked them, but I wasn't sure about their competency. I was willing to pay more because I was like, I'll pay for an expert, but also I didn't give that person the opportunity to show their expertise. And then also, I didn't compare this person to another person. So it's always really great in your hiring process to have 2 or 3 people who you can compare and contrast, because sometimes you'll get one thing and it's great, but then when you get another thing, you realize it wasn't so great and then this is greater. And those are the issues. Those are the things that I did wrong. What I did right was I implemented a chemistry period. I also realized that I was not delegating well. And because I was not delegating well, then the communication to that person was disjointed, and I felt frustrated because I'm like, you're supposed to know this. Why did I have to delegate this? But the truth is, I have to hold myself accountable to know that yes, they're supposed to know, but then there is something that you need to do. So I had to work on my delegation. It's something I'm constantly working on, my delegation. Sometimes my brain is so muffled that my delegation isn't well. So what I've done now is opened up that avenue to give them the space to say, hey, can I get more context on this? I don't understand, type of thing, instead of feeling afraid to ask me more, right? Because we're humans, so we have to know where our shortfalls are. So yeah, so overall, making sure that your turnover rate, whether it's an employee or a contractor, it's going to be high, and that's a very, very big cost of not having good systems in place. Number 4, missed opportunities. Now, whether it's slow reaction to market change, a missed deadline, failed project, or a project that just kind of went in the archives, lack of structure so you can't pivot quickly, you have to be agile. And if you don't have systems, you cannot be agile. I have a client, Vix, and I can use her as an example because she talks about this very openly, and you know, we big up each other openly in this space. Vix was in the middle of a program launch. She's a coach who focuses on curriculum development and community growth, and she was in the middle of a program launch, one of her biggest programs, and we did everything. We have a launch system and everything was in line and everything was prepped, ready to go. In the middle of the launch, she realized, she did a market research, she did a roundtable discussion, and she realized, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to launch this again. And she paused the launch and she had to switch, and she developed a whole new offer and switched to launch a membership within 2 weeks. The only reason we were able to attack the opportunity, dive head on into it, is because we had systems in place that gave us that chance. But if we did not, we would not have been so agile, because if you don't have good systems, you miss things. Things fall through the cracks. There's nothing to hold you accountable, and there's nothing that helps things to get easily duplicated so that you can move quickly. And we don't want that to happen. You can lose out on millions of dollars, because I can tell you that her launch was a six-figure launch, right? It was a good launch because we just pivoted and we moved forward, and that's what you need in order to make sure that you can move where the market moves. And the last thing is the compliance and legal risks. Without proper systems, how are you going to keep track of your legal compliance, right? Your tax compliance. As a lawyer, it's one of the things that scare me the most. Compliance in general is not something that I take for granted. I pay particularly for like an American compliance officer to make sure that I don't even have to think about my US requirements, because I do have a US company and a Jamaican company, and I don't want to think about it. I don't want to have to deal with it, so I pay somebody to do it. It's one of the most expensive things, and I'm in a financial program, and I remember the coach is like, why do you need to pay? I think at the time it was like $200 and something. In its entirety, I was paying, in its entirety, come to like $100 and something, right? But anyways, that's not the point. The point is that she was like, why is this on the balance sheet? Like, why are you paying this to this agency to make sure that you're compliant in the US? And I'm like, because I don't want to think about it. My system is to delegate that to somebody else who has a system, and they are on the ball. Right now I have an email from them to go and respond to because I need to go file something. I don't have to think about it. They think about it for me, and they let me know when these things need to get done. It's pricey, but in its in the end, it's pricier to not be compliant. And I take compliance very seriously. So if you don't have systems in place, you can get so many fines, and you don't want fines to trail you. You don't want fines to mess up your credit. You don't want fines to mess up your overall business identity. All right. So now that we've spoken about all the risks, these are just a few costs associated with running a business without systems. It might sound like it's a lot of work. It might sound like, Zara, I get overwhelmed, but I promise you, start small. In this video where I speak about 5 simple systems that you can use in a business that are game changing, that's all you need. Like, you really don't need to build a business that doesn't look or feel like you. You just need to start small. The simple things, the project management tool, the SOPs and knowledge, those small moves. Whatever it is that you can do today, do it. If you can think about any other costs, drop them down in the comment below. I love to continue this conversation, coworkers, as we help each other to grow and elevate in this space. Investing in proper business systems, it's not always about efficiency. It's literally about survival. It's about growth. It's about keeping your head above water. It reduces costs, but it also enhances experiences and secures your business future, because we all have to grow and we all have to make it someday. If you learned something from this video, feel free to like it, share it with a friend, and of course, subscribe to this channel so you'll never miss another upload. Thanks for watching. Bye.